The Savage Angle Podcast. A podcast of no direction, unfiltered, raw. Your host, hey guys, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Savage Angle Show. My name is Mike. On to today's crazy scenario of a show. We'll talk about a lot of different things in the show. Anybody catch Trump was in Atlanta yesterday, actually. First he was going to cancel it, then he rescheduled it all in one day. The reason for the canceling was because, there was a coronavirus scare in the area. Excuse me. And I guess the administration had thought, and, advisors or whatever had thought, it's best to just cancel and reschedule at a later time. But apparently that wasn't what it was out to be. They rescheduled all on the same day, and Trump was able to make his visit to the CDC in Atlanta. So, so that was good. So he was able to make the visit, and the traffic in I-75. I mean, anybody living in the Atlanta area, you should know that traffic is just terrible. It's just bumper to bumper all the time. But, we do have a clip of him actually, touring the CDC facility in Atlanta yesterday. We're going to play that clip in a little bit. But before we play that clip, I want to talk about how this coronavirus is just affecting everything. We're going to talk about that later on in the show. But first, we're going to talk about the clip here. I'm going to plug into the show here this clip. I got a clip, like I said, of Trump actually touring the facility in Atlanta yesterday. Here it is.
Number of clusters, but it's not as if we have multiple, hundreds and hundreds of clusters around the United States. I do think what's happening though is you have people that are sick, but they don't go to the hospital, or they're not very sick. It's a more minor case, and it could be of this virus. But you have a lot of people that aren't going to the hospital, so we're not seeing those people. And if you did see those people, the statistics actually become much better because they heal, they get better, they don't see a doctor, they don't see a hospital, they have a problem, they have the sniffles or a cold or some of the symptoms, and over a period of time, short period of time, or even longer period of time, they get better. If you look at that, then all of a sudden you're coming into a much lower category of risk in terms of death type risk. Because I think a lot of people aren't going to doctors, a lot of people aren't going to hospitals, and so you're not seeing those people.
And Mr. President, you wouldn't have seen this, but actually today, Dr. Fauci published in the New England Journal of Medicine a revised estimate of fatality counts very much consistent with what the president was saying, which is the WHO numbers are just a math problem. This many people died, this many were diagnosed. But if you then extrapolate from the number of diagnosed to how many likely cases there are that never came to the doctor or hospital or got tested, Dr. Fauci's paper in the New England Journal says he thinks it's less than 1%, which is, I think, word for word, Mr. President, what you were saying.
Can I just ask one question about containment? I mean, you're saying that you have noticed, you've seen these clusters, but from last Friday to today, we've gone from something like 57 or 59 cases. In 7 days, we have 200. And we even haven't had the testing to see if there's more than that. So now we're actually getting the testing. And don't you think it's likely there are a lot more people out there who are going to come and have actually be sick?
I think there's no doubt we're going to see more community cases. And I just want to say, and there's no doubt that the public health system of the United States is enhancing surveillance in a variety of ways to try to really understand, is there any hidden pockets? And I just, that's all in process. But I will say,
everyone has been aggressively using the single case they diagnose than to go look at all the contacts to try to begin to understand this. This is how the nursing home is having a lot of infections in Seattle, and tragically, and they're all in our prayers, the number of deaths from that nursing home. So I just want to assure the American public that we are enhancing our surveillance, not just CDC, but the entire public health system of this nation, so that we will have very accurate eyes on where this virus is.
Obviously, Mr. President, we talked a lot about the health ramifications. Of course, it's very important. But there are also economic ramifications. The stock market dropped again today. The travel industry, airlines, cruise ships, companies, travel companies, especially hard. Can you give us a sense of what you're considering to help offset this pain?
Well, we're considering different things, but we're also considering the fact that last year you got approximately 36,000 deaths due to what's called the flu. And when I first heard this 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, when I was hearing the amount of people that died with the flu, I was shocked to hear it. Anywhere from 27,000 to 70,000 or 77,000. And I guess they said in 1990 that was in particular very bad. It was higher than that. As of the time I left the plane with you, we had 240 cases. That's at least what was on a very fine network known as Fox News. You love it. Like that's what I happen to be watching. And how was the show last night? Did it get good ratings, by the way? I heard it broke already from this, but maybe that's wrong. That's what they told me. I can't imagine that. But what happened is, if you look at the number, the time we left, it was 240 cases and 11 deaths. That's what it has been. Now, you look at throughout the world, I mean, other countries have South Korea, Italy, and in particular China, have many. Now, I also hear the numbers are getting much better in those places, and I've heard the numbers are getting much better in China, but I hear the numbers are getting much better in Italy.
All right, guys, I'm going to stop it here.
240 cases, 11 deaths.
Okay. We got Trump yesterday at the CDC facility in Atlanta, and they're talking about clusters. They're talking about numbers. They're talking about figures. They're talking about enhanced security, eyes, around, where this thing is going next, where this virus could be going next. You know what? Here's my solution. Here's my solution to the whole country, the whole nation, okay, about this damn disease. Okay? It's instead of just closing down borders, airports, ports, what have you, that's great. That helps. Okay? But here's my solution to everything. Where the viruses are normally at, okay, it's mainly coming out of China and Asian areas, so to speak, right? Is that pretty much where the origin of this disease formulated from? If you are Asian of descent, nothing against you, not to be discriminating or nothing like that. So, don't come after me with this discrimination clauses and all this other crap. I'm not being discrimination. I'm not showing any signs of discrimination or discriminating anybody of Asian descent. But it has originated from Asian descent, okay? I'm sorry. We cannot allow Asian descent in this country right now until we can find out how to control this thing. Because, you talk about numbers and clusters and all this crap and everything. Yeah, that sounds good on paper. But, when you have visitors coming and going, from countries like that, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to spread to the next person, the next person, the next person. Then you're going to have a mass hysteria in this country and everybody's going to go crazy. You can't have that. You can't have that. I'm sorry. If you're Asian descent, you can't come in this country. Well, it's, Mike, you're going to say again, well, that might affect the tourist regions in Las Vegas and, Orlando, Florida and Miami and, matter of fact, the whole state of Florida or other regions that have a lot of high tourist volume. I'm sorry. You know what? The tourist areas are going to take a hit from this coronavirus, and they have been taking hits. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because you look at the numbers and you look at the sales at Disney World and all different high tourist regions. They're down right now. They're down. They're down because of this virus. They're down because of companies like Disney and companies like, big, large corporations, okay, that depend on the tourist visitors that come into this country to have fun at their parks and everything else. They're not seeing those large crowds, okay, because of what's going on. And that's going to have to stay like that for a while until we can figure out how to control this thing or just literally kill the virus completely. Okay? You can't have it. You can't have it. With that being said, folks, we got a lot more to say on the Savage Angle. I'm going to take a quick little break after these words. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, if you're out there trying to find something natural for your body, you're getting tired of taking medicine, or you're just not one of those, pill popping type of people, try hemp. What is hemp? Hemp is very natural and it's great for your body. It's known to help people with Alzheimer's, epilepsy, seizures, just about everything. Headaches. I mean, it's very natural, folks. And it's becoming very popular as well, too. The hemp industry is suspected to grow in the next 10 to 20 years. And it's growing right now at a tremendous rate. What I would recommend is try HempWorks. HempWorks, you could find it on just about everywhere on the internet. If you just Google HempWorks, that's HempWorx, and mention that you heard this from the Savage Angle podcast. Don't forget to tell them that the Savage Angle sent you. And you're going to find some great products, folks, with HempWorks. I have HempWorks products at my house that I use, and I'm telling you what, folks, it's a great company, and they supply great natural products. And they stand by their guarantee as well. So if you're out there and you want to find something new, something natural for your body, log on to HempWorks. You're going to love their products, folks. All right, folks, we're back to the show here. Talking about the Trump visit to the Atlanta CDC yesterday. It's baffling to me that no one has. It seems like no one knows what the hell to do with this thing. With this coronavirus outbreak. No one knows. How it formulated, how it started. Everybody has conspiracy, thoughts and everything and views on it, on where it could have came from, but they don't have an actual thought of where this thing came from. Everybody's, kind of resembling this virus as the modern day flu, so to speak. But it's just baffling to me that as a deadly disease that it's coming out to be, killing thousands upon people and having affected people with affected cases even throughout the states here is just baffling to me. It's baffling. It just seems like with the latest technology that we have, no one can give anybody a simple straight freaking answer to this thing. I mean, that's why you pay these scientists big money. I mean, come on, guys. It's time to work around the clock so we can get this thing beat. With that being said, we just had the president sign another bill to this coronavirus. The bill was signed by President Trump. But do we have a clip on that? Yeah, we're going to have a clip on that one. I'm going to play the clip on this one. I mean, it's just, there's more that has to be done. There has to be something done with this damn thing. You know, I can't keep on talking about this crap every damn day on my show. You know, and I'm not going to talk about it. It has to be done. It has to be changed. It has to be boom, 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 done. Get rid of it. Develop some kind of vaccine for it, and that's it. Stop talking about it every damn day. It's always, oh, the coronavirus. No. Yeah, it's bad. Let's get rid of it. But we got a clip here of the president signing into law a bill that's relating to the coronavirus and its relatees. So here it is right now.
Here we are, 8.3 billion.
8.3. Jesus Christ.
But it's an unforeseen problem, not a problem. Came out of nowhere. But we're taking care of it. Okay. So here we are, 8.3 billion. Very well. But it's a
$8.3 billion. President Trump signs coronavirus spending bill. $8.3 billion for the spending bill to go towards vaccines on this. More debt to the national debt of this country. I don't understand it. I don't understand. You know what this election's turning out to be? Science versus politics. And that's what I'm going to label this show today as. Science versus politics. This is nuts, folks. This is nuts. This is no. I'm done with that clip. I'm done with that clip. It's crazy. It's chaotic. It's nuts. I've never seen anything in my 38 years of life so far. Over $1 billion something for a spending bill to control this thing. Do you know what that's going to do to our economy? Boom, right down the drain. Right down the drain. More spending bills to control this. More spending. You know, everybody's going to say to me on this show, Mike, why are you getting all hysterical and this and that? Because our U.S. economy had just taken a dump on this damn coronavirus. It literally did. Does it affect the presidency? Does it affect Trump's presidency? Sure as hell does. It sure as hell does. Sure as hell does. It's just it's chaotic, folks. It's turning into science versus politics. That's what it's turning out to be. It really is. So that now the Democrats, you know, now they have an upper hand. I've said it, my podcast, my show right before this episode. The earliest episode was episode 6, I believe. I told everybody, in that episode, that these damn Democrats are going to try to politicize this coronavirus, and they are. They are politicizing it at a high level, folks. A high-ass level. You know? We talk about the so-called 2020 fix, guys. I'm going to get off the whole coronavirus right now. I know it's a touching subject, but we got the 2020 fix of what's going on with this, with the delegates and everything else with the Democratic Party. Just basically what's going on. The delegates so far for Joe Biden is at a 664. Okay, Bernie Sanders is polling at a 573. Elizabeth Warren, she's very low. She's a 64. Michael Bloomberg, he basically canceled himself out, so he doesn't count anymore. Buttigieg, 26. Amy Klobuchar, 7. Tulsi Gabbard at 2. Andrew Yang is at a 0, but he's out already. And then so forth. So what's going to come down to is these two. Yeah, Elizabeth Warren. Yeah. What's going to come down to is here's your two guys to watch out for. I'm sorry, folks. You're not going to have a woman president in 2020. You're not even going to have a woman candidate that gets the nomination in 2020. Sorry, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And it's going to come down to Biden and Sanders. You know, Biden right now is literally above Sanders. You know, what a big jump he took. What a big jump he took. Because at a 664 over Sanders at a 573, you know, that's a big jump. That's a big jump. Old Grandpa Biden took that leap over chaotic Sanders, I call him. Yeah. Oh, Sleepy Joe. So here are the primaries so far. Okay, we're going to look from February 3rd, okay, Iowa, February 11th, New Hampshire, February 22nd, Nevada, February 29th, South Carolina, and then all up to basically, up to current day right now, which is, let's see, look at March. I guess you could say March 10th is Idaho, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, North Dakota, Washington. Okay? I mean, we can go all the way down to June 2nd, which would be the District of Columbia, Montana, New Jersey, New Mexico, South Dakota. Okay? So those are all your results. I don't want to go through them all because, I mean, basically, take up the whole damn show. But I want to look at March 3rd right now on the, actually not March 3rd. Let's look at, waiting for it to pull up here. Let's look at, okay, we can't look at that one. Bear with me, folks, here. I'm trying to, okay. Let's look at the big one here. Let's look at South Carolina. That was February 29th. Okay. February 29th, Joe got 39 delegates from the when they were over in South Carolina. Okay. Sanders 15, Tom Steyer 0, Buttigieg 0. Okay. So out of Biden coming out of South Carolina, 256,000 basically votes with a 48% percentage rate for Biden. Sanders was polling at a 19.9% with only 105,000 votes in South Carolina. That's I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. It's more or less gonna turn into this whole general election from 2016, when Hillary was going after Trump. That's what it's going to come down to with Biden and Sanders. That's what I think is going to happen. You look at March 3rd, okay? You look at, what are we going to look at here? Let's look at Massachusetts, okay? Why Massachusetts, Mike? Well, Massachusetts can go both ways, okay? It can turn one way and then go the other way. Let's look at the delegates for Massachusetts. Okay, thank you. Right on the mark, Mr. Pingman. Joe Biden at a 37, Sanders at a 29. See, Joe is coming back. Joe, with 470,000 votes. Sanders only had 373,000 votes in Massachusetts. Well, you can look at the delegates for Trump from Massachusetts, you got Donald Trump with 41 delegates from Massachusetts. Okay, right below, there's no one below Trump. They're all at 0. Okay? So Trump is favoring 87% in Massachusetts. We can go all over the place. I want to look at New Hampshire back in February 11th. Okay? Sanders and Buttigieg were tied up. Sanders was at a 9 and Buttigieg was at a 9 delegates. Both polling 25% and 24%. Okay? Now, Donald Trump was only polling 22 delegates, a little bit higher than both of them. Now, why am I saying New Hampshire? See, New Hampshire it's going to come down to states like New Hampshire. It's going to come down to states like Florida. Now, if Trump can pull those, those favors, those favoritisms, and that interest level of those states, Trump is going to get it in. Trump is going to get reelected. Why am I saying this? Because I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. And thank you, Mr. Pigman. I know it's going to happen. Because if he can stay ahead in that high, I want to say 70 to like maybe 85, 90% range, it's the only way he's going to get reelected. Only way he's going to get reelected. Okay? Now, I want to talk about, what's going on with Sanders. Okay, Sanders is basically hitting the radar all over the place. Sanders versus Biden. That's what it's going to come down to, folks. Sanders versus Biden. Okay? Now, Sanders is basically, he's getting into, in my opinion, he needs to leave his comfort zone, okay? Because he's comfortable only saying certain things. He talks about the damn healthcare. We need to get healthcare. We need healthcare for everybody, free for all. Yeah, it sounds great, Sanders. You can't do it. It's a delusional thing. It really is. It's not going to work in this country. Look what it did with Obamacare. It tanked us. Okay, but the next debate, okay, Biden and Sanders are expected to be alone in a qualifying for the next debate. Well, that's going to be interesting, folks. It's going to be a very, very interesting debate because I could see Biden slipping up at this debate, but I could also see him gaining some popularity in this debate. Okay, the next debate's going to be March 15th in Arizona. In my opinion, a big state for any candidate to get a win. Arizona, he showed they favored Trump back in 2016, but can we see a favored interest in either Biden or Sanders come this debate on the 15th in Arizona? We could see it. We could see an interest in either two candidates here, Biden or Sanders. But Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden are likely to go head to head for the first time this month. Yeah, we know that's going to happen. But a Democratic presidential candidate must have picked up at least 20% of the convention delegates dispersed so far to qualifying for this month's debate. Okay? The party announced Friday. So, both Biden and Sanders have already met the new threefold. But Tulsi Gabbard, the other candidate left in the race, has only picked up 2 delegates. Tulsi, sweetheart, just drop out of the race. You're not going anywhere. You're just wasting money. More money. Taxpayers' money for probably campaigning contributing to your campaign, so to speak. But Gab, that's needless to say. Gabbard hasn't won a single contest outright and is barely registering in the most polls. Well, we know that. We know Tulsi's not going to make it. She's not going to make it. I'm sorry to say she should just drop out. Do us a favor. Do like, Bloomberg. He's seen it. You got to be strong in these things. I mean, you don't have any message. No one's going to listen to you. So I really think that that it's going to come down to it's going to be real close between Biden and Sanders. Biden wants to, in my personal opinion, he wants to continue this so-called Obama legacy with this health care. Okay, and Sanders just wants to crisscross it. He wants to just give everything for free and this and that and raise your minimum wage and this. It's communism written all over it. I don't understand how people don't see it. It really is. It really is. But Sanders is grilling Biden over his Senate record, which included voting in favor of the Iraq War and proposing cuts to Social Security and entitlement programs. He's grilling Biden over that. He really is. And Biden, Sleepy Joe, so to speak, he seems like he's just taking it in. I seen the last debate with Biden, and Biden it didn't look like he had the energy. It seemed like he was lost. Like the little boy in Little League, he was lost out in left center field picking the dandelions. Joe, if you don't pick up your energy, little Big Joe, you're Sanders is going to be all over you like white on rice, and that's a fact. That's a damn fact. Be the budget chopping block, so to speak. But Biden has to punch back. He has to. He has to punch back at Sanders, because if Biden doesn't get this debate on the 15th, if he doesn't get people behind him on the 15th, okay, they're gonna give this victory, this debate victory, to Sanders. Sanders is gonna, folks. I think it's gonna come down to Sanders. I really do, because in November, in November, you're gonna have Sanders versus Trump for the general election. I'm telling you right now, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Sanders against Trump. And I want to talk about a possibility of how it could come down between Sanders and Trump. I'm gonna dig up something here, and I'll be right back after these words, because you're gonna want to hear this, folks. I mean, this could be pretty interesting with Sanders and Trump come November. Savage Angle. We'll be right back after these words. Hey guys, if you're liking my podcast so far, you should check out the podcast on Twitter. Yes, the Savage Angle podcast is now on Twitter. Just search at the Savage Angle, and it'll pop up right there on the Twitter. But yes, we're now on Twitter, also on Facebook. If you Google the Savage Angle podcast, that will pop up as well too. And we're also on, different types of platforms out there, such as Google, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere you might find your podcast at. Guys, this podcast is jaw-dropping, it's unscripted, and it's raw material. Just give us a try out today, guys. You'll love it. You are entering the Savage Angle Podcast. Savage. All the time. Anytime. Here's your host. All right, guys. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. It really is. It's going to be it's going to be I tell you what. I just thought about this. I tell you what. Trump's going to watch out for Texas with Sanders, because if it comes down to Sanders, I think Sanders can pull off Texas in the general election. I really do. I really do, because he has a unique message to his words, and there's some people that are buying it. Yeah, it's crazy. A socialist and a commie as Sanders, and they're buying it. They really are. But this was like 8 months ago. I want to play this clip because we're running low on time here on the Savage Angle show. I want to play this last bit, and then I'm going to close it out here. But this is Bernie responding to Trump's campaign launch, the campaign launch. I want to play this because it's a very interesting clip, and this is how Sanders could actually pull it off here, so to speak. I know it sounds crazy, folks. It sounds crazy. I'm not a big Sanders supporter. I don't support his views. I sure as hell don't support his message on the whole socialist communist vision of America, because it's going to be a dangerous scenario for us if he does win in 2020. Let's hope and pray that this does not happen and we have Trump in the Oval Office come November of 2020 this year. But I want to play this last clip here, and then I'm going to close it off. This is a very, very, very interesting clip.
Certainly something. An hour and a half speech of lies, distortions, and total absolute nonsense. That is quite an experience. So if you watch Trump's speech, you're already a little bit discombobulated. So I'm not going to keep you for a very long period of time, but I want to take you into another universe, a parallel universe from where Trump was this evening. It's really quite incredible. So what I want to talk about is not so much what he said, but what he didn't say. Take a look at America today, the America that Trump did not talk about. And if you ask, for a start, the scientific community globally, what the major crisis facing our planet is, they will tell you without a second's hesitancy that crisis is climate change. And they will tell you that climate change is real, it is caused by man-made activities, and it is already causing devastating problems. And if we don't get our act together in the very short, near future, there will be irreparable damage done to this planet. Maybe I missed it. I did not hear Donald Trump mention one word about the planetary crisis of climate change. And in fact, what he boasted about is that we are producing more carbon, which is only going to speed up the climate change crisis. Okay, that's issue number one that comes to my mind. Trump talked about the booming economy. And in truth, unemployment is low, stock market is high. But what didn't he talk about? He didn't talk about the fact that half of the people in this country today are working paycheck to paycheck. They don't get paid next week. They lose their job next week. Their kid gets sick. Their car breaks down. There's a divorce in the family. They are in really bad shape because they don't have any cash in order to pay for the bills that are coming. Trump didn't talk about...
Let me pause it here for a minute, folks. Let me pause it. I promise I'll go back to this crazy Bernie scenario. Do you hear what he's saying? Okay, let me put you in a perspective of how I see this guy. Okay, because I don't buy the crap that he sells, and I definitely don't want to purchase any of his bull crap, because it's bull crap, guys. It really is. He's talking about carbon fibers. He's talking about man-made destruction that's causing climate control, like we just started doing this 10 years ago. Bernie, I know you're old, man, and I know you don't see things maybe on a scale as a younger person would see, but hasn't climate change been around? It's been around for a while now, right? I mean, these politicians are just starting to talk about it now, and then he's talking about this economy here where he didn't, but Trump didn't say Americans are living on paycheck to paycheck. No. Yeah, Bernie, you might be right on that one, pal, that Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. But guess what? Just because they're living paycheck to paycheck, some of those Americans have jobs now under Trump, and they didn't have jack crap under Obama and the corrupted administration we lived in under for the last 8 years. Are you talking about that? Let's talk about that right now. Let's talk about people off of food stamps and living paycheck to paycheck. I'd rather live paycheck to paycheck, Sanders, than not have a job to begin with. I'd rather live and struggle on a job, okay? Not that I don't struggle. I'm just saying if I did, I'd rather live that way, okay? And bust my ass to get to where I want to be, okay? To prove myself where I want to go, than not have a job. I don't buy you, man. I don't buy what you're saying at all. Listen a little bit more about Crazy Sanders, and then I'm going to have to cut it off here.
Of America that has zero wealth at all. Trump didn't talk about the incredible level of income and wealth inequality in America. Trump did talk about...
What are you talking about? He talks about it every damn day.
He forgot to tell you that 83%...
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Turn him off. Turn him off. Talks about it every day. Where are you at, man? Where are you at? He talks about it every day. Every rally, he talks about economy. He talks about unemployment. He talks about people off of food stamps. He talks about, how we have to better our planet. Yes, he's talking about all this stuff. Where are these Democrats at? Their heads are like, they're not there. They're not on their bodies. They're somewhere else. Talking about a parallel universe, Bernie, I think you're the one that lives in the parallel universe. Talking about some crazy nonsense. Oh, boy. Folks, I'm going to close out the show here in about a minute, okay? But I'm telling you right now, if you allow this man, okay, to get your attention by the crap that he's trying to sell you, you are going to be mistaken, my friends, in November. You need to go to the ballot box in November and vote Trump for the 2020 president, okay? This man has to get reelected as the 45th president of the United States of America, because this man is literally keeping this country alive with the American dream. Bernie is going to kill the American dream. If you don't believe me, then go vote Bernie, and then you can go see for possibly 4 to 8 years under his presidential tenure. And then you'll see your unemployment high rise, okay? Your food stamp recipients back on food stamps, welfare, high rise, job growth, down the drain, down the crapper. There goes your jobs, there goes your economy, there goes everything that you worked for and had this president, Donald J. Trump, work so hard for you. Folks, voting for Bernie would be a big slap in the face to America, okay, for what Trump has done so far in his presidency. It really would. Folks, that's my message. That's my angle. I'm sticking to it. The Savage Angle, an Anchor podcast.